Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how to make a pasta cane. This is fusilli and this is a farfalle, and that's the one we're going to make today. Let me know if you want to know about this one. It could be the next tutorial. So these are the colors we're going to use today. We have a nice eggy yellow here for the pasta. I mix it from yellow and white and a tiny bit of brown to tone it down. And then we'll have a background color. You saw that green before, which looked really nice. It could be any color. I choose this porcelain of Fimo, which is basically an off-white with very little pigment. So it will become darker and a bit translucent after baking. And then we'll need some more of that pasta color to blend with white. This is not the same. This is pure white for the highlights. And we'll also make a blend with a shadow color. And I'm using like a medium brown here. It could also be more greenish, like an olive. So I prepared these blends and we're going to turn them into a jelly roll. By folding them in half across the gradient and running it through the pasta machine the other way, like this, to stretch the gradient, and then we'll make it thinner and to make the strip even longer. So I made them on a level 4, which gives me a good length, and now we're gonna roll them up into a jelly roll. And for both canes we want the yellow to be on the outside, so we'll start from these ends. Now we want to reduce the canes a little bit to make them longer. Trim off the ends and cut them in half. So here's our 4 pieces, of which we actually need only 3. So this one's gotta go. And I made them not too long, maybe 3 centimeters, and I prepared a sheet of that same width, more or less, from our yellow color. It's a level 0, a thick sheet, and we're gonna wrap each cane with that sheet, and it needs two layers, 2 rounds. And now we want to cut this cane into a rectangle, and that's the trick. That's the main trick of this tutorial. When we cut, we'll cut a little bit into that blend. So I'll chop off some of that light color. And I'll connect, I mark these lines on the back, I connect them along the side, so I can make a really clean cut along those lines. And we cut slowly with a tissue blade and try to stay on those lines on both sides, keep an eye on both sides. And in our cutting, we should see some of that light color that we chopped off. And I'll do that on both sides. And then for the other 2 sides, we just need to straighten them. We want to keep the maximum material here. So I just chop off this arc on the side, and I'll do that with all 3 canes. Okay, so here's our 3 pieces. I made them a little bit flatter and wider, and this one I pinched it a little bit along the center, and now we're going to join them together into one block with the shadow in the middle. And then I will add a layer of that yellow color on these 2 sides where the white is showing. It's a level 0. And then I will add another layer of the background color, also level 0, all around. And this is pretty much our finished cane. We just need to shape it a bit. We want to make it a bit flatter, a bit wider, to get to the proportions of a farfalle. And then, like you would do with a real farfalle, we'll pinch it in the middle. And for this, you can do it with your fingers. I'll use a tool, a round wooden hard tool that could be, this is a brush. This used to be a brush. It could also be a pen. And I'll place it here along the middle and on the other side. And then I'll, like that, and then I'll press those 2 together to make my farfalle. And we got to clean this a little bit, erase that edge, make a nice hourglass shape. Actually, take your time to get the perfect pasta shape here. Maybe we can also compress it a bit more like this, because it has a tendency to stretch in that direction. And that's it. All we need to do now is to fill those gaps with a wedge of our background color. To make that wedge, I'll take a rather thick roll of my background color. That's more than twice the length of my cane. And I'll form it into a wedge by pressing it down on my surface and pinching an edge on the top to make it into a triangular shape. And when you look at this gap, you can see it's a very flat triangle with a rounded top. So I'm trying to get close to that shape. So as you can see, I made it really flat and wide on the bottom and rounded on the top. And now it should fit inside here. Oh, it's a bit too flat actually. Yeah, that looks better. And now I'll compress it more and make it into a nice cube by erasing these edges here. So this looks really good. There's one last thing we need to do, because typically the farfalle, it has these zigzag edges here. And for this we'll need a tool. I use a wooden ruler. Wood is nice because it has a thickness and it needs to have a straight right angle edge at the back. We're using the back of the ruler and we're pressing it into these sides here to make grooves, parallel grooves, one next to the other. To fill these grooves, I prepared a thick sheet of our background color, and with a tissue blade I will cut little wedges off these sheets at an angle. They're little triangular shapes. I don't know if you can see this here, and they'll fit exactly inside the grooves. And this is our finished cane. I added a layer of background color just to make it clean. And I wanted to show you some things that I'm doing with these canes because I'm working on a series of mosaics like this one. They're completely flat. This is the back. And these are all slices from our cane. I did another one with the green cane you saw in the beginning, and also the fusilli. And the background is also from another tutorial of mine. Yeah, stay tuned for more pasta canes. Please leave a comment. Feel free to ask me anything, and thanks for watching.